Hey, my name is Jared Moon, and I'm part of a group of underground athletes you've probably never even heard of before. We don't rely on fancy equipment for training, and most of us don't even have gym memberships. In fact, our motivation comes from within. You see, we have jobs, families, and responsibilities, but we still have big goals, and they aren't getting achieved at a global gym. For that reason, we have to do things differently. Our training has to be smarter. We don't have every piece of equipment known to man or a ton of time to train, and we don't need it, because we are achieving amazing things without it. So how do we do it? If you ask your average personal trainer or gym goer, they'd call us crazy. Yet we're seeing results better than most every single day. And it's happening by blending mental training with physical training and becoming an athlete. What we call, and welcome to, Garage Gym Athlete.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. Jared Moon here with Joe Courtney. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's up?
And we have Dominic Decker, man. How you doing?
Good. How y'all doing?
Doing really well, man. I love your space, and I cannot wait to get into talking about it and getting a little bit more, background on you. So let's start with that. If you want to give us kind of an intro on your background, how you got into garage gym training and all that stuff, that'd be awesome.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Dominic Decker, South Central Pennsylvania, Gettysburg, between Gettysburg, York, and Hanover. I'm a truck driver. I deliver bulk flour to Snyder's at Hanover, the pretzel company. That's not even a half hour away from here. And the great part is work is literally right across the street. I wake up at 03, get ready, and work starts at 4. So I leave at like 3:55 and I'm at work.
That's early, man. And
which
when
is awesome.
When is work over?
Anywhere from like noon till 4 or 5 o'clock. So 8 to 12 hours.
Okay.
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so are most of your, I'm just interested to know, so most of your deliveries, since you're a truck driver, are local. So you're home most every day?
Yep. Every single day I'm back here. Yep.
Okay. That's awesome. So I knew that you were a truck driver. I'd seen that somewhere, but I didn't know, like, I know a lot of truck drivers are, going cross country and.
Yeah, no, I got lucked out. I'm right across the street and I'm home every day. So can't argue it too much.
Yeah, that's a great setup, man. That's a really great setup. So speaking of setups, tell me a little bit more about your garage gym space, where you exercise, and when you set that up.
This is a detached garage. I guess it's a garage. You could maybe fit a car in here. But, it was probably, 5 years ago, 2014. Our third child was born. And my wife said something about getting back in the running and getting back in shape, and I was previous Marine, got out in 2009 and haven't done anything since then. So I was like, yeah, sure, have fun. But she ran a couple times and I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll give it a shot. So I went out and ran a mile and it was rough. Comparatively, it was rough. So I was like, all right, we gotta get back into this. So really just started running mile or 2, 3 a week, something like that, and that just increased. And then I got more interested, maybe found a program online, really just body weight, half hour under kind of workouts, getting into it, and then got sandbags and kettlebells, and then found a barbell, and it escalates.
Yeah, man, that's really cool. You have I've seen some pictures and some other stuff. You really do embrace the garage gym athlete mentality. You have some DIY equipment. What kind of equipment do you have in your space?
I started with a sandbag. I forget what company it was. It's like brute force bag, but it's not brute force. And then from there, I had found a standard barbell and like 300 pounds of plates on a Facebook Marketplace for like $75. I was like, score. So awesome. I got that. Yeah. And then since my father-in-law gave me a couple more, I think like 200 more pounds. So I have over 500 pounds and I think 2 barbells, like standard barbells with the screw ends on them.
Gotcha.
But hey, they work.
Yeah, 500 pounds should keep you busy long enough.
Yeah. Yep.
That's great. So you got out of the Marine Corps 2009, you said?
Yes. Yep. January.
Okay. And I'm assuming you're keeping a pretty good fitness routine while you're active?
While in it, I mean, PT, and you have the
Yeah.
PFT every now and then, but I didn't go to the gym, I mean, some guys would, but I was just never really interested in lifting weights and that kind of thing. But I was in shape. I was always a good runner, played soccer, so I was in shape. And then on our second deployment, everyone was really getting into working out. And I started doing a little bit of weights and stuff, and came back, and the gym wasn't for me. So just kind of died there once I got out.
Yeah, that's that happens. People coming out of the military more often than not.
Yeah.
It was either shoved down their throat so much that they're just not interested. For a certain
Right.
amount of time right after they get out, or someone's not there to hold them accountable, so it can be difficult. So it's good on you that you got started. But you're saying your wife was kind of the catalyst to all this happening. She got you started.
Right. Yeah. She wanted to get her body back, I guess, after 3 kids. So she had a drive.
That is really
Yeah.
cool, man. And I know you're interested in a lot of other stuff. So what are some of your goals, things that you're working towards right now, activities you're involved in, all that good stuff?
As far as goals per se, I'm actually really horrible at setting goals, because I don't know a good goal or an attainable goal or anything like that. But there's a quote, I think it's from Socrates, but I've heard other people have said that they said it, but I wrote it down so I wouldn't mess it up. But it's no citizen has a right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. What a disgrace it is for a man to grow old without ever seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. And that just kind of resonates. I don't train to be in the CrossFit games or bodybuilding, that kind of thing. I just work out because I'm grateful that I physically can, that I'm getting to my mid-30s, and I'm still healthy. I'm still able to. My kids are younger. I want to be healthy and active with them as they get teenager, and as they progress, I want to be able to keep up, if not beat them.
You're right.
Just to keep them going. But other than that, just for the family, the father figure, the protector, I need to be in shape to be able to do that. But beyond that, every now and then, certain things come up. I think in April, I had done an adventure race, which was pretty wild.
Yeah, tell me a little bit more about that. And
Yeah.
for anyone who may not know, what is an adventure race, and what was your experience like?
Well, adventure race is, I guess, kind of like a triathlon. 3 events, kind of 4 events if you count navigation, but it's usually a canoe or a kayak. Ours was 10 miles on a canoe, and then it was mountain biking, which ours was 17.5 miles mountain biking, and then a trek, hiking or trail running portion, which we only ended up doing 5 miles in the 8-hour window, but it can be really long. I think like 20 miles or something. That one was, if you actually got it all completed. And then navigation is the key, because they have checkpoints where you have a compass and a map, and you have to get to the checkpoints on a mountain bike or trekking. And on the canoe, it was just start here, end here, go. And then the mountain bike and the trekking, it was, here's your points, which were pre-plotted, which was nice, but generally you'll have to plot your own and then figure out your own route and go. So that was pretty awesome. It was 8 hours of just go.
That sounds awesome.
It was a blast.
You typically by yourself, with a team? How do you operate?
I think usually adventure races go as a team. Ours was a 2-man team, me and a female I know. I put it out there on Facebook, anyone want to join me, and she's the only one, so we ended up making the team.
There you go.
but she does some CrossFit, so it wasn't too bad. But some do them as singles, if they're shorter races. This one was only 8 hours, so they could be like a single guy could do that, or a girl. But usually it's a team. Usually adventure races, it's like overnight or 2 days, 3-4 days, and it's like 4-man teams, I think, usually, and it just seems awesome.
definitely
really
something
cool.
that's been kind of interesting to me. I don't own a bike, and I mean,
Yeah.
canoeing and kayaking is pretty simple, so I don't think I'd have to practice that. But I think it'd be cool with a good group. I just not multi-day. The 8-hour one would be a good start. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's tons of fun. My bike, actually, get a decent bike, because my bike was cheap one from Walmart that's been around for years.
I've heard Jared's horror stories of his bike, so I know that.
Yeah, coming down our last trail out of the mountain bike portion, coming down out of the mountain was the rockiest, and you're also going the fastest, because you have about a half mile of like flat gravel to just go. And coming down out and starting on the flat, my bike started like clanking and making funny noises and rubbing, and finally I got off and looked, and I actually bent my rear tire, my rear frame. So, and by that point it wouldn't even turn, so I had to push it back about a quarter mile. So that bike is sitting off to the side, and I got a new one now. So good.
Nice. That's crazy, man. Yeah, that's I've been on the cheap bike for a race before. It's not as fun as it sounds.
But then more recently, I guess, goals wise, of this Saturday, so in June 8th, I have my first triathlon sprint.
Awesome.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, man. So have you been, we don't program a lot of swimming. Have you been doing additional swimming in preparation?
I try. I don't really know of a pool around here, but I've been using our creek, which the past month has been a little chilly in the creek.
Yeah.
But that works on the mental game, right? So
yeah.
But I kind of walked out like 50 meters upstream and then 50 meters downstream. So I have to swim upstream for 50 meters and then turn around and just work on form at that point, just get back down the creek and then turn around, go back up, turn around, come back. But
wow.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's a little chilly sometimes. When I first did it, it was probably 60 degrees air, and the water had to be in the low 50s or maybe 40s. It was cold.
That's a good swim.
It was a good swim, but it was cold.
So tell me a little bit more about where you live. You said Pennsylvania. Are you in a more rural area, and what's the weather like?
Weather's right today. It's hot and humid. To Pennsylvania. I think it's in the upper 70s right now, and probably 98% humidity. It's just sticky today. But it'll get down below freezing in the winters, negatives, not too often, but it gets down to 0 quite a bit. And then in the summers it can be over 100, not too often. Usually the feels like is over 100, but it's usually up 98, 99 throughout the summer. Okay. And this time of year it's 70s, starting to get into the 80s.
Got it. And so what are you doing? What do you do in the winter time with your detached garage? Doesn't look like it's insulated.
It's not. I have a tiny little space heater, which works about this far away from it. So
nice.
you do something real fast and then go do it and come back. So
make sure your hands are just warm enough.
Right. And the problem is the bar gets incredibly cold. I've been taking that inside when I come home from work, grab the barbell, go inside, let it warm up, come back out and do a workout, just so I don't, my hands don't fall off.
Yeah, taking the barbell in so it could be a little bit warmer.
Right.
Now with your setup and work, it sounds like you have a pretty awesome setup, just with being so close to work. Some days being able to get off. I mean, you start super early, but being able to be finished at a more reasonable hour during the day. Do you run into any struggles or obstacles trying to fit fitness in with your work and life schedule?
Yeah. My wife works third shift, so when I get home, whenever she leaves for work at about 3:45 in the afternoon. So I generally have to be home by 4 o'clock, because that's during school year. That's when the kids get off the bus. It's 4 o'clock. So when she goes to work, and then she'll get home at about 3:30 a.m. So it's like the perfect setup. We pass and passing shifts in the night sometimes, but it's just enough overlap that it works. But sometimes if I get home a little later, maybe my mom will watch the kids, and then I'll have to get home, go get them, come back, and then it's it's already later and everyone's hungry or they have homework to do, and so it's,
right.
It can be a frustrating. But they also like to work out with me, so it does work out sometimes.
Yeah, throwing them in the mix can be helpful. And how old are your kids?
9, 8, and 5.
Okay, nice spread. It's good. Yeah, keeping you busy for sure.
Oh yeah.
That's great. So you and on those days where it's a little bit crazier and hectic, do you, if say you can't train, like it's one of those days, like do you try and make a day up or just move on to the next training day? I love to hear athletes' mentality on how they feel about when they miss a day and what they do after that.
Usually I'll just move on. Sometimes on like a Sunday morning, maybe I'll get up a little earlier. Like for DiCarlo, we got up on Sunday morning and did that before church. But otherwise, I'll just move on. Unless I really liked it, I might swap it with another day. But really, just move on. It's not going to kill me to miss a workout.
Yeah, no, I'm in complete agreement. I think sometimes athletes can get stressed out about missing a day, but I think in the bigger picture, if you're consistent, it's not going to mean much from a missed training session here and there.
Right. Yep.
Cool, man. So, how do you like training in your detached garage?
I love it. I mean, it's the convenience of it is the best part, and the cheapness, I guess, once you get the stuff you need, which you don't need much. I mean, it's right here. And the fact of the kids being here, I mean, at times it's, but usually it's fine, and they'll listen enough to be able to get it in, or they'll want to do it. That's the main problem, is they all want to work out at the same time, doing the exact same thing I am. And sometimes it's not going to work. Just watch a movie or something. Just don't be here.
Just give me some time. I'll be done.
I'll be done in like 10 minutes. Just come on.
Yeah. That's that can be the I'd say maybe the only downfall other than possible weather. But sometimes you got to look at the weather as a pro to building that mental toughness. So the only real downfall could be access, your family's access to you. And it's a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing, right? Like
definitely
interruptions and whatnot. But we roll with it. That's part of being a garage gym athlete.
That's right.
All right, man. So what is the hardest workout you have ever done?
Oh yeah. It was probably Broken Arrow when you first introduced it, the end of last year. And really that was probably only because it looked tough, it was going to be a grind, but I wasn't expecting it to be that tough. Like it was almost 2.5 hours, and I just wasn't ready for that. And at the time I was just getting the hang of double unders. So that just, crushes your soul.
Right.
Especially after, all that and the bike ride and the running, and then trying to do those. It was a train wreck. But this past Saturday, actually, I redid it and redeemed myself a little bit. So that felt good. But I also added a 300-meter swim to it, and I cut the double unders down a little bit. So
okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's where did you do, like, how many double unders did you end up doing?
300.
Yeah, and for those who aren't familiar with the workout, you can Google Broken Arrow workout. You'll find it. But there are 1,000 double unders in that workout in the full RX version of it. And so it's and that's just that might be one of the smallest portions of some of the things that are in there. There's a full Murph if you calculate it all out. It's
right.
It's pretty awesome. Yep. That's a very worthy adversary for you to select as the hardest workout.
Right. And a testament, I guess, to Garage Gym Athlete. The first time I did that, the day after was, just wrecked. But this time I did it the next day. I was like, I guess I did work out yesterday. All right.
That's awesome. Just rolling with it.
Which was a great mental boost, because I did 300-meter swim, and then I biked. I think I ended up biking 11 miles, and then I ran a 5K, and then did 1,000 double unders. So I basically did my triathlon a week early.
Wow.
And I wasn't sore, so I was like, all right, I got this.
Yeah, you got it for sure, man. I'm going to have to get an update. Let's see. I guess we'll publish this episode before or after you do it. So
right.
But I definitely want to hear about it. So post in the group or let us know how it goes, man.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right. So in your opinion, what's the best activity for building mental toughness?
Let's see how to word it. Just doing the mundane everyday task. It's the stuff that has to be done. Don't go looking for something that's hard. just, if there's dishes, do the dishes. If there's laundry, get the laundry done. Just do the stuff that needs done that nobody likes to do.
Every day.
Just do every day, and without complaining. It's gonna suck. Just get it over with and move on, and your house will look better.
Which is a huge pro. No,
Right.
I think that goes a very, very long way in building mental toughness. If you can, because it's not like 1 week of that is just, okay, you had a productivity surge. But if you can every day, you're like, yep, I need to fold that laundry, or yep, I need to do those dishes. And you never miss. At first, it'll be like a little bit, it'll wear you down mentally, but over time,
Right.
it'll become it'll just change you. And even though they're small tasks, I couldn't agree more. That's something I've been, definitely not perfect at, but chip away at every day. I'm like, dishes, all right, get it done. Just do it. Don't stare at it. All these different things.
Right. Yep. And the fact that my wife is third shift, so in the afternoons, it's daddy daycare. So I got evening dishes. I got laundry. I got homework. It's that stuff. Just do it. It needs done. Just get it done.
That's awesome. Now, if you could only have one piece of equipment to train with for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Probably adjustable kettlebells.
Okay.
They're just so versatile.
Yeah, you could do a lot with that.
Oh yeah.
They need to invent some good ones for those. If you could add one piece of equipment to your gym, what would it be? No cost.
Probably a rower. A rower right now. My wife was on the crew team in college, and she's wanting to somehow get back in the rowing, and I like to row. I never had one, so it's like, sure.
Nice.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, dude. Rower, that is making a comeback. That's generally our most requested piece of equipment, and I think for good reason. It's a pretty awesome piece. All right, man. The last question of the show. So a lot of garage gym athletes out there all around the world listening to this. What would your best advice for them be?
Best advice. Probably consistency. Along with that, we had a saying in the military. It's probably still in the military, if not all of them. Complacency kills. And consistency to that. Just do the workout, even if you don't want to. It's going to make you better. You're going to feel better afterwards, whether it was a good day or a bad day. You're going to feel good, and if you don't feel good, at least you got it in, and you're not just sitting there eating potato chips or watching TV or something,
Right. Perfect, man. Well, Dominic, it's been a blast having you on the show. Finally, I've been seeing you post in the group. It's good to finally get to talk to you, interact with you a little bit more. And I hope a lot more here in the future. I want to hear about this sprint try and everything else, man. But
Sure.
Thank you so much for your time and for being on the podcast. And if you ever need anything, let us know.
Sure. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man.